This is the thing that we were teeing up here, Alk, where when the Malphite and the Jace were starting to loom on potentially getting through the draft phase, and both teams said, yeah, we're going to do, as Tarzan might be able to look for some quick poke. It won't be a straight gank. All right, no dice. Right. That's okay. He'll just take a base now and look for his straight dirt.
Wait a minute.
Shun setting up Bin. What is this? 2024 FloNDra in trouble. Gets the tunnel away, tries to flash, but double flash from Shun and Bin. That camaraderie shining on strong in game one between BLG and AL. Because when he's able to use essentially all 6 of his abilities, it is a lot. Meanwhile, Shanks is in trouble. Shun not level 6 yet. So Shanks just says, okay, cool. That's a little bit of damage on my health bar, but I'm totally okay.
Yeah, maybe if Knight had been able to angle that a little bit better, maybe Shanks is under a bit more threat with the Malphite there. Is the electrocute Malphite as well? Kind of noting what you were talking about there. The first dragon going over to AL, that's good to note. Remember, we wanted to see them keep up early game tempo with some of the lane matchups that they have.
Decent trade and response from On. Hope might be in trouble. I think Hope is just giving up his life knowing. Tries to flash away. I'm not sure what that was going to achieve. Now Viper says thank you for the kill and the flash as they continue the trade on to Kyle. Deadly Flourish connects off the stun from On. The flash, the pulverize. Oh my god, it is 2024 all over again. Viper and On pick up the 2v2 all in, and even top lane Bin is killing FloNDra.
Main character on a lot of compositions that he's in. We saw that a little bit within the Fury jungle last year. And Malphite is just a much different champion. It is the closest version to Vi we're probably going to get on this patch for right now.
Grub, if Tarzan can get in there and sneak a second, they'll at least unlock a little bit of extra turret splitting power, but Shun is able to kill the second and third Grub.
I think that FloNDra does need to be wary that he's going to potentially be dove. Now Knight in the mid lane.
Shockwave pulls him back in after he flashes the Emperor's Divide. Shun holding onto his unstoppable force. Tarzan trying to line it up. Oh my goodness, that's why we picked the Bard to set up the accelerated Shock Blast, and Shun has the first to use ultimate just to run away. The rest of BLG can't bail Knight out of this one. There's a lot of reliable bursts coming in from Viper's Aphelios. Jhin, a little bit different.
Gonna have to enter after this dragon's already taken here. They're split off.
Flash ulti onto Shanks. No flash on the Orianna. Tarzan goes to the skies and says good night tonight. Shanks does go down in the end, and so far a 1-for-1 trade. Flash from Kyle looks for the cosmic binding on, is forced to flash over the wall, but Hope wants a piece of that cow and takes him down with a hail of arrows. Shun, no unstoppable force, no flash available. A couple more auto attacks from Tarzan should do the trick. It's a double 4 Hope, and just like that, anyone's legend swing on back.
Moving throughout the top side, getting good flank wards, potentially setting up for a dive here onto Big. This is a lot of crystalline overgrowth.
Yeah, Tempered Fate right into the turret to disable any turret aggro, and FloNDra finally gets a bailout as the rest of AL come in to put a stop to Bin's reign.
They're not at all prepared for a Herald. I think AL are going to be looking for resets to try to spend some of this gold. Are they going to be contesting on the top side? I don't know. A little bit more for this turret. It's not going to get in on this wave. Just barely. Damn, that is a really low turret here. It'll go down in the next few minutes, but for right now,
just touch it, bro. Like that thing just needs to be knocked down by a breeze. Just
there
like,
you go.
Poke it with the stick. Nice.
Cool. So we got the turret. AL now have 2 turrets. Bonus true damage based on your lethality, and scoring a takedown empowers your next basic attack versus turrets or epic monsters, and does a lot more true damage. Now I say that, I think FloNDra's dead.
He's going to try to stall this one as long as possible. It does require 4 members of BLG to make the job done. What can anyone's legend do on the cross map? Shanks is already pushing on the top side. Kyle, it's up to Viper to clear the minion wave, while Tarzan takes a free Rift Herald. So for anyone's legend, yeah, FloNDra does go down, but I think it's a worthy trade in the end.
Interesting to me. You know that Knight is on the bottom side. You had 4 members here. I'm surprised that BLG didn't opt for the dragon there. It is short-term gold. You are getting Knight an entire bottom lane turret to himself. However, now you've given over the Rift Herald. You've lost control of mid in trade, and that might even mean some more jungle what the dragon is going to look like, with Jhin now having to take a recall as well. BLG are opting for gold, and I don't like their odds. I like their odds as we go later into the game. I am scared if AL are able to stack enough dragons to get to a soul.
Yeah, this mid-game spike is super strong right now. Tarzan on 2 items, this lethality, I mean, Tarzan's first domestic title win had been a long time coming when it finally came through in Split 2 last year.
And on
Now,
Zedman,
potential
like,
fight. Hang on. Uh-oh, that's a
Kyle?
big flash, and Kyle is still dead. Not sure what that accomplished, and
Shanks
Shanks,
is dead
unfortunately,
too.
is on the wrong side of the map. Please don't tell me he won't flash either. All right, well, BLG just picked up 2 kills for free. I imagine this should be a clear signal to start up the Baron. Now Tarzan, Hope, and Flandra will be put to the test. 3v5. Can they pull out a miracle? Really good shock blast from Tarzan on Viper.
Oh,
puts
what
him
is
at about
this
50%
flank
HP.
right now?
But there's a big flank in the making from On, trying to punt the key member from anyone's legend. Tarzan is caught by Bin and On, and BLG have dashed away any hopes from the Pandas. No chance for a smite. It only comes down to Hope to put on his best Gumayushi impression and see if he can steal it right under from BLG's noses. On is doing his best to try and occupy
Wait a
Flandra,
minute,
but
hold
Hope
up
puts
now.
him to rest. Tempered frame from Kyle, he's back. BLG, don't tell me they flubbed this one. Viper's
No.
in trouble. Flandra goes in. No way it happens like this. Shun is pushed out of the pit. They keep it at 3K. Flandra will finish off Shun, and they don't even need Tarzan to secure the Baron. Anyone's legend making miracles happen here in game 1. Pick from
What did it
BLG,
reset?
but the Baron fully resets and it delays time. And because it's still early enough in the game, Kyle comes back to life just in time. And a heroic play to stall the Baron further. I think even just trying to continue to delay Flandra might have been what bit BLG finally in the end. Viper was still so low from the poke that Tarzan laid down with the chase. And it's just pure disaster from BLG. But
Flandra did get taken down. He was on the side lane. Bin is continuing to bully him there. But BLG are starting to suffer under the weight of some of their mistakes here in this game. Shun's trying to find a flank, but is completely corralled. That mid-tier 1 still giving them vision.
Finding connects from Kyle. No dice here from the side of anyone's legend, but because the Baron buff is on their side, they're the ones on the front foot. They're the ones putting BLG in the pressure point. This tier 2 turret. Wow, Shockwave connects on the Shun. Is he forced to use the Unstoppable Force just to retreat again? Tempered Fate right on top of him. Do we have another accelerated shock blast? He goes in for the knockup. It only hits on the Kyle, and he goes down swinging. Knight has teleported, looking for a flank, but he's 1 man against 5, and he needs to wait for the rest of BLG to follow up on the engage, and it's just too daunting of a task.
For anyone's legend as they prepare for their soul. Are we going to try to rip a Baron? In the time that it takes to spawn, this objective's already gone.
Yeah, BLG have forfeited Cloud Soul over to anyone's legend, trying to opt into making sure that their Baron setup is as advantageous as possible. Anyone's legend have not gotten a chance to put any wards down. Coming in from Bin, looking for Tarzan. He is the big target. He and Shanks are going to have to fight their way out without Kyle. No Tempered Fate for a while. Shanks is caught by Bin. Cosmic Binding locks Bin down. The Stairx gauge is popped.
What are we doing?
Flandra comes around from the top side, trying to bind.
Oh my!
Knockup from Flandra! The best Rek'Sai in the world comes to fruition. Malphite ultimate onto 2, but there's no damage follow-up. Knight with his golden left hand goes down into the grave, and anyone's legend picks up a triple for Tarzan's chase. Game 1 wrapped up in the books, and it's anyone legend with the victory march.
They'll just move it in through top lane. AL play that fight with so much patience, and then the execution near flawless from them. That knockup from Flandra onto 4 members completely ends this game out. AL, we wanted to see them play with precision, and they came clean today in this first game.
Viper will pull a last Hail Mary effort, but this Jhin can't do enough to save this fate from being written by anyone's legend. The ace comes through from Hope, and it's anyone's legend that take the first game against BLG.
I don't think it changes much. I will say that Aurora and Akali are trying to mimic the style that BLG are going for, and the rest of AL's comp doesn't really want to do that. I think at the very least what this does is just waste Tarzan's time. The lanes know that Tarzan can't answer anymore. Viper and On are moving in immediately.
Tarzan is leaning over while bursting out the Krogs as fast as possible. Shun does not get a chance to finish off Red Buff in a very fast manner. Tarzan has Kyle, Shun has On, It's 700 HP. Can either one secure it? The red buff goes down. Not sure who got it, but Shun goes down anyway for first blood. And BLG's invade goes completely awry. On will be escorted by Viper, but that is not what BLG were hoping for.
Yeah. And we didn't talk about it too much in this game, but this is also not just a Lulu for Aphelios. This is a Lulu for a Xin Zhao. And again, Tarzan, incredible jungler. Now, I'm going to say that I think he might get punished.
He flashes on the
my
Knight. He
God!
gets the heal from the passive. No way. He goes back in. He goes back in. He trades his life for On, but now that is compromised Shanks' own. And Shun has returned to the field. Everyone is flashing forward. It's an LPL fiesta. And I'm living for every second. But Knight comes out on top with the double. Kael's forced to flash.
Since they do know that they are fading down towards the bottom side of the river. Is there a play here? Knight is incredibly strong. I know I talked a lot about the splinters, but he has the elixir in his pocket. That's free adaptive force, and that got buffed on the patch before this. That alongside the first strike, he's going to do a hell of a lot of damage.
Knight is spot on the control ward, but they don't care. They know that Hope doesn't have flash from the scrap before. On taking up the turret as much as possible. Clean dive by BLG.
What is Shun doing in the jungle there? Like, my mid lane is recalling, my top laner is recalling, and just used Equalizer. Graded chain breakers. Yoinks. That is going to be a lot of defensive potential for him versus any of the solo lanes playing later on. Gets a little bit of time on this turret. Crystalline Overgrowth also gives him the first plate in mid lane. Even gets the second one here with the minion lane wave. We do have a Herald, and no one else is on the bottom side. Tarzan wants to continue to invade. Maybe get some turret plates for his Aphelios.
Has Tarzan bit off more than he could chew here? He still has Crescent Guard, hasn't popped it yet. Darkness from afar as the Scatter of the Weak forces Tarzan to flash away and pop his ultimate.
What is
they
Hope
turn on to
doing?
Hope. He's forced to flash over the wall. Pop Blossom on the 3! Bullet time! Rips him to shreds! Shanks looks for the counterattack, but he's forced to use the second cast of perfect execution just to run away, and Flanja TP's in just a little too late. BLG with a massive punish.
And On having one of his best champions, the Nico here. Massive Pop Blossom just immediately decimates this fight and causes even more to fall in favor of BLG.
Knight has 2 items. Viper has 2 items. Who cares? You're a Nocturne. All you got to do is just press your ultimate and give the cover of darkness to your team. 3-man Wild Growth, though, trying to set up Hope for a massive Moonlight Vigil. On is going to get out alive thanks to Paranoia. They look for the re-engage onto Hope.
What is Shun doing?
Can anyone follow up? Shun! My guy! No one can follow up!
This is where it started to kind of fall apart. There's still a lot of game left to play here. BLG still have a 3,000 gold lead, but these mistakes are the things that we saw from them in game 1.
Fight on in the middle of 3 people. Didn't have Pop Blossom available just quite yet. Oh no, BLG falling apart. Anyone's legend. Still down 3.5 thousand gold, but with the Rift Herald in hand, they can easily try and do some work to shore up that gold deficit and claw their way back. BLG, we have to remind everyone, you have massive advantages in your bot lane and your mid lane.
To us here in this game, it has been individual skirmishes that have gotten them the lead.
Hey!
Oh, there we go.
That's how you do it. Look at that. On setting up Knight with a 2v1 kill on the Flandra, which is his first death for the Aurora in this second game. Rift Herald does get dropped by Tarzan. They'll look to off. In fact, the fact that he got an early snowball advantage allows his scaling to come online even faster. Shanks engaging on. Pop Blossom still available, doesn't get a chance to use it. Shanks got the Wild Growth and the flash out of On as well. Paranoia being used by Shun, and this time he will not re-engage.
LG, Bin is on the opposite side of the map, and he is getting gold. He is getting another turret plate on the bottom side. Level 16. 3 points in the equalizer. Now we need to see it. Teleport flank coming on through.
Oh, well, Flandra missed both the weirding and the between worlds, and Bin says, see why at.
Especially with Proto Belt plus the oncoming Zonias. I think that HP shield is a bit more meaningful. Now a play onto Aurora, you have no damage, Shun.
But Shun knows that Flandra doesn't have the ultimate, and with an alley-oop, Bin with the, hang on, mid lane, more fights happening, Shank gets popped! Viper's gonna get jumped up by Tarzan, but he still has to work his way through Knight and On. Tarzan trying to delete On, but he tricked him with the HP bar, and Knight scatters Tarzan back to the winds, picks up the Quadra, and showing Tarzan that he's not just the only best player in the LPL.
Wait a minute, so we're gonna go for a Baron here?
A huge advantage, and now they're at 9,000 gold in the lead against anyone's legend. We know that AL have pulled off some comebacks and some miracles, but
more structures fall, and these are just Baron minions being traded. All in all, BLG have kind of wasted a lot of this objective.
Dashes on tonight. He still has flash. He gets away just in time. Pop Blossom and Bullet Time trying to do a number on to Shanks while he's in the cover of that shroud. Looks for Knight. Oh! Also finds the flank. They want Knight so badly, but they can't get in range of him. Kyle getting deleted on the back line. Tarzan pushed out of the fight, and Bin arrives to burn them all down. Triple kill for Viper, and the rest of BLG roaring triumphant.
All right, so that pin that I wanted at 18 minutes, we can get rid of that one, guys. This game's a wrap. 11,000 gold lead here for BLG. And even with AL's best shot at winning a fight, it's just nothing. They don't kill Knight. They don't kill Bin. And I gotta say, Bin, a silent killer in this game. Hasn't gone too much interaction as we've gone all around the map, but really a great performance on this Rumble, a champion that he is really starting to come into his own in most, looking a lot different if that was the case. Tarzan's gonna try to steal his own blue buff away, lose half his HP, maybe his guardian angel.
Darkness. Good night, Tarzan. He flashes away. Shun can't close the distance, but meanwhile, on the left side, wow, Hope just gets exploded. Kyle almost facing the same fate, flashing away just in time.
Take this mid inhibitor down, and Rafa, I think we're going to a Mountain Soul here. I think that BLG are going to quickly take this inhibitor, spend their gold, and look to put the finishing touches on a very easy game 2.
BLG just taking their game slow, waiting for flashes to come back up. Knight, well, definitely the strongest individual on the map right now, finds a scout of the week. Good night, Kyle. BLG. A few seconds away from Mountain Soul spawning. Tarzan having to be the first one to face check into the bush. Shanks is over the wall, looks for on first. Paranoia gives them the cover. Kyle, the first one to get dropped. Tarzan's GA will be next. Hope flashes right on top of the equalizer. No chance in hell that he's getting out of that one. Tarzan revives just to die all over again. And this is BLG's game to come back from. This was an excellent response by Bilibili Gaming. We're going to game 3.
Couldn't have gone any other way. I'm sure that some of the AL fans, Rafa included, were looking at this potentially being a 2-0 with the level we saw. But BLG, they go back to some of their winning ways. They go back to some of the things that brought them success earlier on in the season, and will tie it up. One more? One more for the road. Why not? It's takeaway.
25 stacks sealed or achieved on this
Level 1 trade, and level 2 with Shen is near unmatched, especially for a bottom lane. So this could be a very explosive lane to watch, and AL need to be incredibly careful because they are so short range. Walk into Fog of War. You don't have to do anything. The threat is obviously a lot more important than really any real action coming. So like you mentioned, BLG, they get the kind of push Kyle out of that wave. Viper's just been sitting here pressing QW. Pip they have brought on over. He's nowhere near level 6, and Kyle, I think, has a lot more buttons that are useful in this instance.
Well, On already used his main useful button to taunt, but Bin Flash commits onto Tarzan, and gift wraps a present for Knight in First Blood.
They just don't have the same amount of damage. I mean, yes, it's a Pantheon, but your Talia is stuck in mid. Kyle does nothing in these trades, so a kill goes over to BLG, and you get all 3 grubs, which, mind you, this is a team with Ryze and Jax.
Fourth, kind of rough and tragic loss at the end in game 1. And then a little bit more dominance.
Profane Hydra, I thought they could have moved their weight a little bit more, but they gave up position for this, and now they're going to have to fight themselves into Fog of War here. I don't know if I like this.
Kyle was trying to set up a flank, but immediately gets pushed out by Viper, gets jumped. The supreme display of talent catches him, but the response of the Magnet Storm kills Shun in the crossfire. Dragon secured for Tarzan, and now it's full retreat for anyone's legend. Knight trying to continue the chase and keep them in range for follow-up kills. Boomerang Blade lands onto the Rune Prison target, but not enough damage to finish off Tarzan, and the rest of anyone's legend find their first counter response in this game 3.
Every single inch here in this series. Using some of those globals now. Can Knight find anything on the Flandra?
Force the flash away. Knight doesn't get in range for the Rune Prison. Finds the empowered one, layered up with the taunt. It's beautiful CC work, and Bin timed the ultimate and just clipped him in there.
That's fair, that's fair. So, a pretty expensive trade. You know, they end up hovering Knight. He'll get this entire wave and the first turret of the game going over to BLG. AL, in turn, will grab the Rift Herald and make yes.
So for Jax in this instance, you are ramping up your W passive, or your auto passive that much faster? Hang on. Realm Warp toward the bottom lane. Uh-oh, Flandra. Well...
Another lower third?
Nope. Another lower third, maybe? I mean, Flandra's just gonna die here. I don't think he can even find a trade. Yep. BLG using their global tools, just getting a lot of kills back and forth. It's an answer from anyone's legend, though, in the mid lane with this Rift Herald, I should say. We already know that Jax, as a champion, destroys turrets really fast. Dusk and Dawn is just as good as a turret destruction tool as Trinity Force. However, Shanks is going to force a flash out with the Weaver's Wall, still looking for On. Quick taunt dash away, at least escapes the seismic shove, but On is still in trouble. Shanks is just putting the hurt train, the flash forward guarantees the kill.
I will note, kind of a free death there. You got Shanks to flash, and while the Dragon isn't something you're going to be contesting, On can always get on the map a lot faster.
They're going to be a little slow to answer and try and bail Flandra out of this one. On has Stand United ready if he needs it. Hasn't popped it yet. Flandra going to get stunned up. Flash into the E. Is able to dash away back to safety. Thankfully for anyone's legend, they did answer with a tier 1 turret on the bot side. As Shanks has teleport in case they need it. Depends only on BLG if they want to get aggressive. On taunt flash into the... Oh my goodness, supreme display of talent. Good night, Tarzan. And Shanks teleports in just a little too late onto enemy targets. Throw an AP on a high AP ratio.
Oh,
yeah, that
Viper
thing is chunking people. But Viper caught out by 3 people. Big shutdown going over to Hope's pockets. Flandra in a 1v2. He's got Tarzan for reinforcements, but he goes down.
Shanks.
Realm Warp. Does he have enough time to get out alive? Yes, he does. Shanks arrives just to see Shun and Knight Realm Warp away, but Kyle is hot on their trail, looking for the flashback to Storm to lock Knight down. He tries to flash to the turret for safety, but Hope gets another shutdown and a Shun's Kiana. And anyone's legend are trying to do everything they can to get back in this game.
That has to be a Baron. You have an Kaisa here with 2 items. Legend in terms of vision. They have the Scuttle, they have the Pixel Brush, and they have the River Rush entering into mid. On's getting engaged.
Display of talent used to push Hope back, but everyone just jumps to the left side. Shanks flashes away, but cannot get out. Here comes Bin with the counter-strike. Looks for Tarzan next. Aegis the Soul buys some time, but just look at the swoop of BLG. Completely corralling, and Hope in the middle of 3 cannot pull out a miracle. BLG reigns supreme in the river, and they're gonna push for a Baron.
There we go. Let's Realm Warp out. 3 members take care of the big purple worm. An amazing fight from the carries. And I had a lot of reservations about Shun on this Kiana, but him and Knight, I should say, have been moving excellently in that fight. They immediately snap onto Shanks, force him out of this, make him flash, and still end up grabbing that kill. A Baron on top of that is going to make this game so much easier, and BLG now find themselves with an almost 6,000 gold lead here.
Called out. Shanks completely irrelevant in that fight. Credit to Viper and Knight. And now Baron buff on their side. They pick up the 4th dragon, even up the dragons so that anyone's legend.
The Realm Warp is gone. Not a very long cooldown, but at least slowing it down. We have not seen this. We've seen some plays from Shanks and Tarzan, but just not in this game.
Display of talent on the 2 members. Tarzan and Kyle both caught, and Tarzan is the first one to drop. Flandra TP's in, forced to immediately run away. And BLG now have a 5-on-4 for another 40 seconds. How much damage can they do?
There's nothing for AL to do at this point. BLG get free time on these waves, go for another top tier 2. I just want to see Bin auto attack this. Crystalline Overgrowth, boom, 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 turret is gone. A free one coming in for Bin Jax, an iconic champion pair for him, by the way, who we haven't even mentioned here in this game. You know, Mark, you know what's scarier than a level 18 Jax?
What's that? Oh, a level 20
level
Jax?
19 Jax. A level 19
yeah.
and a level 20 Jax.
Yep, that's right. Well, Flandre forced to run away from the Realm War. Bin winding up the helicopter, looking for the counter-strike.
Oh, Kael!
Kael in the Q stun, open to the back line. Fun shoot first. Don't tell me he gets dropped, but he trades one for Viper next. But it's up to Bin to carry this one through with On. Shanks trying to keep him away. On forced the taunt back. The seismic shove. BLG! They just crumbled when it mattered most. Anyone's legend bringing it back from the brink. How does this happen?
Holy crap, Kael! That's a tier 1 support if I've ever seen one. They're gonna grab a tier 1 turret on the way out. That was an incredible magnet storm, completely acing BLG.
The lead. They can just look back at that and say, okay, guys, you know what? We messed up. We can still close
I'll give
this
him
game out.
player
We're
of the
still
game for
favored.
that play alone, bro. I'll give him player of the game for that one, even if
He's
they
definitely
lose.
getting ace. He's definitely getting ace, for sure.
All right, AL trying to start up the Baron. They're going to immediately turn on whoever is teleporting. Bin, flash, leap strike, he's out. No ult. Shun's coming in on a flank.
Shun looking for the Supreme Display Talent. Hits all 5. Viper and Knight can now rip, and now it's BLG's time to shine. Anyone's legend had a brief glimpse of hope, but it's immediately put to rest. Viper takes the triple kill, the pop-off from On and the player cam, quadra kill for Viper, and the first chapter of this epic rivalry will be written in BLG colors.
Man, I love the fact that it even happens in the exact same spot. They may have gotten rid of Otacon, but it's still the same story. BLG make a comeback here at the end of that play and completely dominate AL 2 games back-to-back. God damn!
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.